How's it going, everyone? My name's Tamarrow, or really whatever you want to call me, and I'm here today to talk to you about 10 anime that you need to watch in spring 2022. I say spring 2022, but I really mean April, since this is when all those anime come out on this list, but I'm really not going to bother with all the preamble. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we're just going to get straight into the list. Let's go. Alright, let's get the big obvious one out of the way first. Spy X Family. This manga has been regarded highly ever since it debuted back in March of 2019. And if you don't know what it is, the manga and now anime follows a spy who has to create a fake family in order to fulfill his mission, and without spoiling it, each member of his quote-unquote family is very unique. This manga has a good balance of action, levity, and heart, which has earned its way up the top of many readers' lists, which is no easy contest, for sure. But if you enjoy spies, fun, comedy, and action, and some great character writing, Spy X Family is the show for you. Alright, next up on the list is Yuusha Yamimasu, or translated as I Quit Being the Hero. And the premise of this anime is pretty self-explanatory. The hero of this fantasy world quits his job and becomes the Demon Lord's henchman. And yes, this is another fantasy anime that is not an isekai. Although technically the story beats and plot functions exactly the same way as an isekai, since the genre has become so contrived and watered down to such few central elements that they have become virtually indistinguishable, but they are different. Anyways, like with any well-made anime of this genre, this show has very strong character-centric stories, as well as some cool and unique plot lines. So if any of that sounds like it strikes your fancy, make sure to check out Yuusha Yamimasu / I Quit Being a Hero. You hear that? If you or a loved one recognize this music, then you are going to love this anime. And for those of you who aren't gigantic nerds like the rest of us, I'll say it like this. If you like Death Note, Squid Game, Code Geass, or any of the shows where the protagonist is playing 5D chess and or get massive hard-ons for the words check and mate, this show is for you. There's really not much I can tell you about the show without spoiling it, so I'll just say that this show involves betrayal and a death game. Have fun! Alright, this one is for all you vile, filthy, disgusting isekai fans out there. Like myself. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of Otome Games is tough for mobs, I know, a mouthful, is an isekai where our main character gets transported into the world of an Otome game, or for the uninitiated, a dating game for women. Now, I wouldn't just put pure isekai garbage in the list if I didn't have a good reason. And that reason is it's just really well fucking written. When I first read this as a manga, I was expecting what you get from these isekai. Boring characters and half thought through plots, but Otome Game blew me away, to be completely honest. Yes, the MC has the I'm smarter than everyone and look like an asshole thing going on that roasts me in easily, but every reason and explanation for why the world functions as it does makes sense, and more importantly, it works and is interesting to the reader. The world is thoroughly developed and you really understand that this is a real person who now has to live in a world created to appease women, and how that world would flesh itself out if it became a real place. For such an uninteresting sounding manga, it really is one of the most surprisingly entertaining, refreshing, and interesting manga I've read in a long while. I really recommend you go check it out. Alright, this one is going to be a pretty quick one since it's pretty obvious, but guys, Kaguya Season 3 is coming out. And I mean, there's not really much to say about this one, guys. It's Kaguya. If you are already up to date with the anime, or are like myself and many others who went ahead and read the manga, you are going to enjoy this season. But if you were not already a fan of the show, this season is not going to magically change your mind, if we're being honest. But for the rest of us, let's fucking go. It's season 3, baby. Okay, so summertime rendering is a really interesting one. This show is what I can only describe as your murder funny time shenanigans, or as I like to shorten them to, MFTs. So as I just described, this anime really is an MFT about a guy who returns to his hometown on an island to mourn the loss of his close childhood friend who drowned trying to save a little girl. But when he arrives, he realizes something is very wrong with his hometown and its residents. If you or any Loved Ape are interested in an MFT anime, shows like Steins Gate or ReZero, then Summertime Rendering has got you covered for this season. And finally, we arrive at our first feel-good anime on this list. Koi wa Sekai Seifuku no Atore, or translated as Love After World Domination. The anime follows our two main characters, Fudo and Desumi, who are a Sentai / Power Ranger, and a commander for a world domination hungry organization respectively. The catch? They're dating. That's right, big Romeo and Juliet vibes, and let's be honest, it never stops being a fun and enjoyable watch. There's absolutely nothing complicated about it, just a rom-com with a fun Sentai twist. And while you won't get any quote-unquote down-to-earth, or some people like to call realistic depictions of romance, like you would from Horimiya or Toradora for example, it's still just as enjoyable as a relaxing and feel-good experience. So if any of that appeals to you, go and check it out. And for those of you who don't even enjoy something as cute and as fun as this show, that's okay. You're all entitled to your own opinions. Just know that they're dogs. The next anime is an exception. All the other entries I've listed so far have been manga / anime that I have personally enjoyed or are fond of, but this one is not one of them. I have an extreme disdain for the Nagatoro / rental girlfriend / Takagi / Uzaki fanbase, or as I like to call them, racists. So I figured why not give the racists a break since they live pretty tough lives and give them an entry on the list. Now tomorrow you might be asking, what makes this anime racist? And to that I say nothing. I honestly have no clue why these romance but with sadomasochistic undertones genres would attract weirdos. Huh. Well anyways, this anime is about a guy who's completely head over heels for his girlfriend. Not just because she's cute, but because she every so often turns into a quote-unquote badass. My anime list describes it as a cool dark side, but I don't really know what that means, so I simplified it. Guys, before I lose you all and you click off the video, hear me out. Yes, it's another isekai, but there's more. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. There's actually nothing special about this show. I'm being completely serious. There's literally nothing special about the greatest demon lord is reborn as a typical nobody. I mean, the words demon lord and reborn are right in the title. But be that as it may, even schlock has its place in the world, and schlock is what it is. I'm gonna stop saying schlock now because I hate it. It's your typical overpowered main character in a similar but unfamiliar landscape going to quote-unquote high school and fighting villains. And sometimes that's all you need. Something to turn your brain off to and go, whoa, he's strong. And I completely respect people who watch these types of shows just for that. A couple of cuckoos are Kako no Inazuke. To finish off this list, we've got another romantic comedy. Don't fucking blame me, this season is full of them. And I wouldn't put an anime on the list that I didn't believe had any value to somebody. The main twist of this rom-com is that it's a switched at birth story, where our main character and female protagonist were switched at birth, and their parents set up an arranged marriage, and as expected, shenanigans ensue. Now this is a very classic harem-style show, like We Never Learn or Masamune-kun's Revenge, but in my opinion, much better than those quite frankly dog shit shows. However, it does have one aspect that detracts from the whole experience, and that is the male tsundere. The guy who is an asshole, but deep down he's a good person who just has trouble being honest thing. Male tsunderes are becoming more and more prevalent in recent rom-com style manga, and to be honest, I might have to make a whole separate video for them specifically. But if you can tolerate or don't mind that, or like shows like the ones I mentioned before, this one's pretty enjoyable, so I recommend it. And that's it for the list. I tried to get at least one entry in here for literally everyone, but if I missed one that you think I should have put on the list, leave it in the comment down below and I'll take a look at it. And one more announcement. We are going to be reacting to a couple of these shows on this channel weekly. So if y'all want to see an in-depth discussion about some of these shows to get more into it as I'm watching it, be sure to check those out. Those will be starting when the shows drop, which is like this week or next week. So yeah, but that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all till the next one. Peace.